wipe them out. All of them. Oh, sorry, the cameras are rolling. All right, what's going on, YouTube? JT's Reborn here. Finally, the day has come. Unfortunately, this day wasn't all celebrations. We unfortunately lost Stanley today, so I just want to start this video by saying rest in peace, Stanley. You were great. The influence that you've had on pop culture, comic books, and etc. Just being an all-around cool dude. You know, rest in peace. You always brought joy to whoever you were around. So now that we got that out of the way, it's here. We finally have a press release. Production has begun on Godzilla vs. Kong, and oh boy, let's get into this one. I know KPF is watching this right now, and he's like, God damn it, our worst fears are realized. There's going to be a team up. I'm calling it right now, based on this synopsis. It's not just Godzilla vs. Kong. There's a new threat that's emerging to wipe out the creatures, both good and bad. So, good and bad. Godzilla and Kong are both considered good, which means that there's going to be other kaiju considered bad. But let's go ahead and look at this press release. So, Warner Bros. Pictures and Legendary Entertainment's Monsterverse ships into overdrive as cameras roll on the next big screen adventure, Godzilla vs. Kong. Finally. We've waited for so long, and now it's here. Notice they don't say the final entry in the Monsterverse, which tells me the Monsterverse is going to still keep going. So let's go ahead and read this thing. Let's go through it. Let's analyze it. Let's take a good look. Let's zoom that in a bit. Okay, following the global success of 2014's Godzilla and 2017's Kong Skull Island, and in the lead up to the 2019 release of the highly anticipated Godzilla King of the Monsters, can't fucking wait, comes the next chapter in Warner Bros. And Legendary Entertainment's cinematic Monsterverse, Godzilla vs. Kong. Beginning production today, the epic action adventure will pit the two greatest icons in motion picture history against one another, the fearsome Godzilla and the mighty Kong, with humanity caught in the balance. So, Godzilla vs. Kong is being directed, of course, by Adam Wingard, the guest, You're Next. Notice they didn't say Death Note. They said his two best movies. The film stars Alexander Skarsgård, Millie Bobby Brown, who was in, King of the Monsters, Rebecca Hall, Brian Tyree Henry, Shun Uguri, Isa Gonzalez, Jessica Henwick, Julian Dennison, with Kyle Chandler, and Damien Bichir. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but that dude. So finally, now we have the big synopsis. Now this doesn't give away like spoilers for King of the Monsters. This is just, talking about Godzilla vs. Kong. So in a time when monsters walk the earth, humanity's fight for its future sets Godzilla and Kong on a collision course that will see the two most powerful forces of nature on the planet collide in a spectacular battle for the ages. As Monarch embarks on a perilous mission into uncharted terrain and unearths clues to the Titan's origins, a human conspiracy threatens to wipe the creatures, both good and bad, from the face of the earth forever. Should have said wipe them out, good and bad, from the face of the earth, whatever it is. But so we have our, thing right here. The script was Wingard directed from a script written by Terry Rossio, who also did the the original American Godzilla film before Roland Emmerich and that came in. I read the pitch. It is kind of interesting, and it would have made for a lot better Godzilla film. I think this is him just kind of making up for not being able to get the film that he wanted off the ground, and then, that became Geno 98. He has done some good stuff before, but he's also done some of the lackluster Pirates movies, but I think that comes a point where you're just like, okay, I'll make another one, Disney. So got the producers, behind the scenes credits, films being shot in Hawaii and Australia, blah, 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 blah. The most important thing is that the movie is finally being filmed, and we now have a plot synopsis. Beforehand, we were kind of going into this movie blind. We knew Godzilla and Kong were going to fight, and they're going to come on a collision course, but the plot, I'm kind of intrigued by a lot of stuff. So let's go over it one more time. So Godzilla and Kong are on a collision course. That's inevitable. We knew that was going to happen. These are the two most powerful forces of nature on the planet. Two alpha males get in the ring with each other. One of them has to come out on top. So as Monarch is embarking on this perilous mission into uncharted terrain, are they going underground? Because when we looked at the Godzilla King of the Monsters trailer, they were going into like some underground like cavern or whatever, like underground temple. Looks like they're going into more. And then unearths clues to the Titan's origins. Ooh. Now, this should be interesting. I'm very curious to know how the movie's going to kind of go through and potentially explain the origins of the Titans. I kind of like this. There's going to add some more mystique to the lore. And then we finally have this thing, which basically confirms the team up, which I know a lot of people are fearful. I'm like, go for it. It'll make it more entertaining for me. Like, my idea is just, Godzilla is going to fight Kong, obviously. Godzilla wins, and then, another threat comes in, which is probably this human conspiracy. which they're talking about. Some people say it could be the oxygen destroyer, which they teased as like a weapon to wipe out all the remaining Titans, but it could lead to some negative repercussions, possibly. Or the humans created their own kaiju, which I think I recall Gareth Edwards saying something about, humans creating their own type of kaiju hybrid. I don't see them creating Mechagodzilla. Maybe something organic, like a real, like living organism that latches on, maybe kills these titans. Maybe like a parasite or something like that. So yes, so there's something powerful has to threaten and to be able to wipe out all these creatures off the face of the earth forever. I don't see it as just a standard weapon. I think there's going to be something else because they say creatures. There's definitely going to be a lot more in this film than just Godzilla and Kong. I have a feeling it's going to be Destroya because I mean I did conspiracy video a long time ago just as a little theory, but I have a feeling we're going to get that third monster, and if it's not Destroya, I don't know if they do another Toho film monster or they'll do something completely original. Who knows? But I do know that it's going to be something else. So Godzilla and Kong are going to fight. Then they're going to have to set aside their differences. Maybe not necessarily be like buddy buddy, but they're going to have to kind of like just like the enemy of my enemy is my friend type deal. That's the way I see it going. Who knows how it's going to be? I'm curious to see how all these cast members factor into this. I'm interested to see them unearth more clues about the Titans' origins. I think that's definitely got me intrigued, and I'm very fascinated by how that's going to go about. I still don't know full spoilers for King of the Monsters, so I don't know how that movie's going to end, but we shall see. So, yeah, that's basically it. We finally have some information on Godzilla vs. Kong. I'm sure we'll find some more information over the course of the next couple of months as they start filming, and we should get a trailer or a teaser for it sometime next year, most likely Comic-Con, or maybe a tease at the end of Godzilla King of the Monsters. We're definitely going to get something along the lines of setting up Godzilla vs. Kong. So, that being said, comment, like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this plot synopsis. Are you as excited as I am for the fact that Godzilla vs. Kong is finally being filmed? I can't believe it. Like, I never would have thought in a million years, like years ago, that we're finally going to get this movie. It's just like, why hasn't this happened? I've been waiting for a remake of this film since I was little. I've been waiting for this thing for God knows how long, ever since I saw the original King Kong vs. Godzilla. I've been wanting this movie, and it's finally going to happen with some big bucks behind it. We're going to see Godzilla and Kong fighting on the big screen. It's going to be epic, and I can't wait. I'm just going to enjoy the ride. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime type movie, and out of everything in 2020, this is obviously the film I'm most excited for, unless they come up with some other crazy film concept that I'm unaware of. But this is number one for me. It's a once-in-a-lifetime type movie. They've been building this thing up for the past like 6 years, or 4 years at this point. It's going to be like 5 and then 6, but it's time. The time is here. Godzilla vs. Kong. I can't wait. So yep, that's all I got to say. Post your comments below. Let me know what you think of this. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Take care now. Bye bye then. Hail to the king.